Alright. Yeah, that was everything from Sono-sensei. It seems like between 3, other than Miyu, we have 3 to 4 bits for everyone. The thing that still is a little bit weird is that Koba actually gets 2. Which is a little bit odd, but you know, I'm not complaining because I love me some Koba Yuka, obviously. The more we get, the better. So, speaking of Koba, we have Aki, we have Nena, and we have Tsurugimine left. Tsurugimine is gonna be in August, so maybe she's only getting... If she only gets 1, that would be a bummer, actually. But yeah, I would say we go Aki, Koba, Kiri. Seems fair. The final stretch, Ariu. Right at the beginning of the game, basically. I finished eating my lunch and set out on my usual patrols. It's part of my duties as a member of the disciplinary committee, but I really just like getting a little exercise after lunch. Helps with digestion. It's pretty nice to walk around the outside of the grounds by the pool or behind the gym, slowly weaving through the shade where there aren't too many people. I stopped when I noticed someone in an unpopular spot behind one of the school buildings. Oh. Ah, true. They had something. The first year was moving around restlessly, peeking into the shade and stretching to look over the fence. Is she looking for something? Oh, when Hina told her about the hiding spot in like the bushes or something. But then memories of her small frame running around energetically flashed back to me. Suspicious. Aihara-senpai supports the school, handling various miscellaneous tasks every day. I respect her, but also worry a little that she takes on more than she can handle. Yeah, we have 2, basically. We have Aihara-senpai and we have Sono-sensei. They would be a great fit, also. So when I heard there was a first year helping her out, I was both relieved and a little interested in this new helper. If she talks to you like that, it's like, you know, you're doing something bad. Her back went stiff when I called out to her. It's a typical reaction people have when they run into me, the disciplinary committee demon or the school gate guard. But the first thing she did after unfreezing was bow her head and greet me properly. Name and year. Now. She parroted, her cheeks flushing. She looked scandalized but happy. Suspicious. You're doing the Weedles? Hmm? You're smoking the good? Unpopular places. The school? The classrooms? It was indeed a weird question, but I decided to show her the places that came to mind as a continuation of my patrol. It was a good opportunity to assess Maki-san's character, but more importantly, I just liked how she wasn't too timid around me. I brought up a few different conversation topics as we talked, her impression of the school, what she thought of classes. She's like a spy. Which subject was her favorite? She still seemed nervous, but she gave me good answers. That's actually a good thing, yeah. When I brought up the purification committee, she grinned and started talking happily about it. What sort of things other students asked her to do and how she did them. That face, by the way, it so reminds me of Hio from Rival Schools, by the way. Look that up. He has kind of the same demeanor, you know? And also the same look. It's a little bit weird and scary. From her excited, quick tone, I thought she seemed sincere, a bit impatient maybe, but I liked her enthusiasm. When she has that stance, you know it's either she's bringing up Aihara-senpai or someone else brought her up. when she has that when she has that stance. Fucking love it.
相原先輩か。ああなるのはなかなかに難しいと思うが。
I couldn't help muttering and something discouraging when I imagined the virtuous Aihara senpai with all of the burdens she takes onto herself, but Maki-san nodded, if anything, getting even more enthusiastic.
そうなんです。本当にどうしたらあんな風になれるんだろう。何を頼まれても文句一つ言わないで当たり前のように引き受けて。
確かによくできた人だと思う。
ですよね。
She's smiling like she's the one being complimented. No, she looks even happier. She must be really enamored. No.
私に対してもすごく優しいんですよ。疲れてないの？休んでいいのよっていつも気を使ってくれますし、先輩が一番大変なのに。あんな人初めて出会いました。
She tacked that last line on after all the enthusiasm. She muttered it to herself and my suspicions were confirmed. Her feelings for Aihara senpai have gone long past simple adoration. Ah, so she knows. Alright. I wondered if she was aware of Maki-san's feelings and if she was, what she thought of them. Yeah. We never really got an answer of the, in any of the Aihara senpai cases, did we? But of course, after she kissed her and sort of confessed, then yeah, but we never really got the whole, like, if she really, yeah, well, okay, she confessed, yeah, okay, well, yes, now I remember she gave her the love letter and stuff, yeah, obviously. I imagined some scenarios, though I knew it was rude of me. You were thinking, like, fuck cares? But not from you.
こんな場所があったなんてありがとうございます。いいかも。これからの時期だと蒸し暑いかもだけど。
Maki-san glanced around and is inspecting each deserted spot we came to. So she knows too. She walked around in each spot, checking its view, how comfortable it was, and even taking notes. And she looked dead serious during all this. The worry ran through my head even as I smiled at the adorable sight. She wouldn't do anything that needs disciplinary comedy methods. Yeah, I mean, like, after she has the hiding spot, you know, you can still go to those places, sure. Maki-san bowed her head deeply. She was wearing a really broad grin. I must have won her favor by showing her those spots. It was hard to give her a warning, but, well, I had to. The truth is the truth. True. Maki-san froze for a moment and visibly deflated. But I mean, if you still, I know disciplinary comedy and anything, that's cool and all, but if you really see that, you know, she wants to try some romantic stuff, approaches, why not show her a spot where you know you won't check and anyone else wouldn't check? You could do that? Makes sense. Maybe ask Koba. I think she just said something pretty rude, but again, I find myself endeared by her disappointment. Guess it's not surprising she was searching so earnestly, so enthusiastically, and at the very end, all her hopes were dashed. Guilt stepped into my heart. Says the disciplinary committee leader. But you still know them. When I realized what I was saying, I was surprised at myself. What am I telling her? It's a little problematic considering my position. But seeing her face brighten up was a little relieving.
そんな場所を見つけてもだ。よからぬことには使わないようにな。
Like smoking the wheels? What a lenient warning coming from the Demon Gate guard. Just as I thought when she replied, of course, it looked like... it looked less like she had taken my warning to heart and more like she'd renewed her focus on finding her unpopular place. It's probably Maki-san's character that makes it difficult for me to scold her seriously. Either because she wears her emotions on her sleeve or because her enthusiasm is just so genuine. She has a peculiar charisma to her. That's for sure. An image of Aihara-senpai taking on the student body's laziness as her own labor flashed through my mind. The passionate girl with a respect and love for Aihara-senpai. Maybe she'll be able to change things now that they have gotten so bad. No, maybe she can change Aihara-senpai herself. She bettered her, that's for sure. Especially with that one girl where she went like full Super Saiyan on. Like, deservedly so, obviously. Okay, I doubt that was the last one from Aki, because she also had some stuff with Sono-sensei, so maybe we get a little bit more about that. There we go, we have Yuka. Kobayuka 3 times now, basically. I've been in a good mood lately. When I saw my face reflect in the window, my expression was so soft I almost wanted to look away. I was in an almost conspicuously good mood. Even though I don't think too many people around me have noticed.
Ariu-san!
She might have. I ran into Koba-san in the hallway between classes. She had been glancing around somewhat suspiciously as if searching for someone, and her face had lit up when she'd seen me. She came running over eagerly. I leaned back and gave Koba-san a warning as she practically sprinted over to me, sending her breaking with her heels. She was all smiles as she gave me a sharp salute. I can see that. I felt my heart filling with heat even as I chastised her. She's really an amusing girl. I find myself quite interested in her. Said no one ever about cafeteria food in school, by the way. There is some good stuff sometimes. Most of the time there isn't. It hasn't been that long since the two of us became friends. So when we see each other and talk like this, we're always learning new things. It's sort of a refreshing feeling. Like pushing F5 while during the conversation. One more point. Koba-san grinned, striking a triumphant pose. Just that was enough to get her beaming. There must be something wrong with me because I find a very innocent expression of hers absolutely adorable. My original impression of her was that she was nothing but a serial truant. The typical sort of latecomer who's used to a lifestyle of staying up late, letting her guard down and getting ready for the last possible minute. The type who's all the more trouble since she's not doing it on purpose. But I found myself all interested in all the new excuses she thought up each time, prefacing them with and declaring them triumphantly. It was completely different than forgiving her as a disciplinary committee member. I just found her interesting as a person. Smooth operator. Not sure if that's racist. Probably not. Or stalking. I first started sensing her gaze at the beginning of the school year when I assumed the role of standing at the gate and checking the latecomers. It wasn't just as at the gate in the morning, though. It was in the halls and all around campus. It was a direct gaze, intense and impatient, as if she wanted to say something to me, and painfully fervent. I think I'd grasped the fact that she held affection for me, because I knew that gaze. I had looked that way at someone before myself, at my kindergarten teacher. Alright. Older sisters of my friends, classmates of mine in middle school. It wasn't clear to me what I was feeling at the time, of course. Now it is.
Oh, そういえば、なんか最近妙な定食ができたんだよな、学食。
The kindergarten teacher? As a toddler? Alright then.
妙な定食
Alright then.
お好み焼き定食。
What?
お好み焼きにご飯と味噌汁がついてくるんだぜ。マジありえねえ。お好み焼きってご飯の代わりになるだろ
You fucking have okonomiyaki in the fucking cafe? Are you fucking kidding me? In Germany, you know, you had like, in the place that I was last, you had to pick between like three dishes. One of the two with, was it 3? I think it was 3, yeah, like 2 with meat basically, and the last one was for vegetarians. But it wasn't good. But they were cooking for like 500 people, I think, something like that. Not that much, but you know, roundabout. But yeah, fucking okonomiyaki, like what? This is fucking insane.
それは関西の方ではよくあると聞くが。
I want to have okonomiyaki now, actually.
ゲマジで
The other day, when she had been late again and said to me, "Let's be friends," I was completely taken aback. I was aware of her affection, but I was never expecting her to jump straight to "let's be friends" with no fanfare whatsoever. And she just avoided being late, breathing wildly, voice crackling, face bright red, and eyes sparkling. I had to stifle my laughter every time she had given me a lame excuse before, but I couldn't hold it in that time. My personal interest... Oh yeah, we all remember that. My personal interest in and affection for the student named Kobayuka had swelled up in that moment when my laughter burst out. And has continued to swell inside my chest, almost suffocating me even now.
うまいのかよ、こだ
Oh.
わりとご飯なんて。
Yeah, like, you know, when she basically bursted out and she had like the romance scene with Kobayuka, and we basically had that when she basically had that feeling of, you know, she's gonna have to do it. This is piling up inside of her. And that's the thing right now, you know? She's a disciplinary committee. She's really trying to hold back, but it's just like piling up and boiling up inside her right now as she's speaking. It's actually cool that we have this, because we didn't really get any input from her before, and it's really hard to read her. You know? It's cool that we have this.
興味があるなら食べてみればいいだろう。美味しいかもしれない。
かもな。アリオさんがそう言うなら今度チャレンジしてみっかな。そっか、よく考えてみたら結構うまそうかも。前に作ったお好みうどんもそこそこいけたし。
Isn't that something completely different?
なんだそれは。
いや、家で一人でいてめっちゃ腹減ってて、でもさ、13円しかなくってさ、見っけたうどん茹でて、冷蔵庫にあったお好み焼きの切れ端をぶち込んだんだけど。
I was about to say, that sounds weird.
それはまた味が想像できないな。
Maybe something like udon with tempura.
俺としても見た目ちょっときつねうどんっぽい気がして、そのつもりで食ったんだけどさ。ほら、お好み焼きには最初からソースがかかってっからさ。だしとソースが混じるとものすげえ不思議な味になるのな。あれ面白かった。超ロックだった。
Sure.
ロックな味
なんかうまく言えねえんだけど、こうビンビンくるっつうか。何の味かわからねえけど、とりあえずすげえの来たって感じはするっつうか。
She explained the taste of the okonomi udon, making exaggerated gestures. The information didn't really get across at all. Yeah, same. But I found myself smiling at her enthusiastic description of this inexplicable experience she'd had. Since becoming friends, Koba-san interacts with me directly like this, but occasionally with a strange sense of distance. Social distancing. Her interest in me is completely upfront, though she seems to struggle to put her thoughts into words. It's sort of like she's just throwing herself at communication with me, but it's much more pleasant than I thought it might be in the beginning. Yeah, it's like if she's not even speaking Japanese, but trying to, you know, communicate like with hand gestures and gang signs and stuff like that.
よく言えば純粋で悪く言えばバカなのだろうな
Well, that's what's good about her. It's charming. I find it very sweet. That was the greatest expression ever. Nah. I came back to myself when I heard her panicked voice. My hand reached out on its own to touch Koba-san's ear. It had moved so... Wow. It had moved so impulsively I hadn't even noticed.
これはひどい
Yeah, it's piling up. It's great. At that point, by the way, just imagine how long it took for the first romance scene, by the way. Jesus. Even though I was a bit disturbed at my behavior, I still couldn't remove my hand. I was enjoying how Koba-san flushed up to her ears and frozen stiff too much. I somehow managed to feign composure by the time I took my hand away, at least.
いやロッカーだからピアスとかしてないのかと思ってな彼女の遅刻の言い訳くらい苦しいな
I thought so myself. I hope that she didn't notice my confusion or that I'd acted on impulse.
なんてかさ、ピアスとかその痛いの嫌だし。
She said so a little peevishly, embarrassed, like she knew what she was saying sounded pathetic. I couldn't help bursting into laughter.
いや、そのな、俺のロックはピアスとかそんなんで表現するもんじゃなくてさ。
Yeah, you You express it with the freaking music. I had to laugh again when she frantically added fuel to the fire. It was laughter from how cute and charming I found her.
いやそうだろうなそう思うよコバさんらしい
Fucking get a room already. I said, pulling my hand back to my own cheek and trying to hide the heat rising in me. Okay, I want to check again when that was. I think that was like 3 months prior. That explains the explosion at the end. That was in July, and they got it going on in October. Yeah, 3 months later. Yeah, it explains a lot, actually. Okay. That was fucking... That was adorable. I loved it. And next we have... Oh, we have Tommy. Okay. So a little situation with Yuna. This is, by the way, I fucking love... That kind of picture I fucking love, by the way. It just looks awesome. Like the sunset, like going in. This looks beautiful. Evening of the 5th day of the camp. Yuka had left school for practice with her band, and I just finished up the work that had been keeping me busy, so I had free time to spare. I remembered someone I've spoken with a lot since the summer camp started. Yuka competition. I made my way to the cafeteria. Did we see that during the Yuka segments? I'm not entirely sure. The moment I opened the door, a delicious scent washed over me.
Ariu-san.
Tomi Yuna, who had solved the problem of the mountain of printouts in the math club room with incredible efficiency. I must have caught her with some free time of her own. She was leaning against the table drinking from a water bottle. Never mind cooking for such a large group of people as if it were nothing. She even has the bowls and pots all arranged in the most efficient way to serve the meal.
助かっているただあれだけの量だユナの本来の仕事を圧迫していないか気になっていたんだが
ああ大丈夫よこっちの方に支障出ないようにはしてるから
She returned easily, but I can't imagine it was really as simple as she made it sound. It's really quite impressive that she can do this much while also helping with the camp task force and the school festival committee work too. I had thought I was aware of all the people who could work so responsibly, but I had no idea that someone like her was hidden here. She figured it out. I tried inviting her to join the disciplinary committee yesterday. Really? And I'd instinctively gotten that impression from the look on her face and when she turned me down, saying she had to help out at home. The impression that she was choosing not to affiliate herself with anyone, not to exhibit her talents. When she's proposing would she really work in the disciplinary committee though? Yuna? Not entirely sure. When she's proposing solutions and completing her work in the math club room, she looks full of life, like she's enjoying herself. But afterwards, she apologizes for getting ahead of herself. Why does she limit herself so? We know why.
話をしてもいいか?
いいわよ。
Beating around the bush doesn't agree with me. I asked her directly and Yuna easily agreed. Though from how she reacted to my invitation, I imagine she deflected the issue again. Mate.
ちょっと待っててくれ。今差し入れを買ってくる。
Let's get the snackos. I said heading to the school shop next door to buy some ice cream. I chose ice cream because she'd need to accept it on the spot and eat it before it melted too. She even put thought into that. I've used this trick a few times to chat with someone without letting them get away, though I'll admit it's a little underhanded. Well, there's also the fact that I just like ice cream too. Oh yeah, true.
ソーダは売り切れか。ここでは一番美味しいのに。チョコソフトもないのか。仕方ないな。せっかくだからなるべくいいものを選びたかったんだけど。まあ、でもこのコーヒー味も悪くはないか。
Get that caffeine flowing, yeah. That's the only reason why I drink that ice cold coffee thing. It's pretty awesome. Yuna didn't seem on guard at all when she took the ice cream or when she sat down across from me.
あなたが委員会に入らないのは目立ちたくないからか?
Definitely not beating around the bush, Jesus. I got right to the point. That's one possibility I've come up with since she turned down my invitation the other day. A reason a caring, skilled, motivated person might limit her involvement. It makes sense when I consider the possibility that she's been alienated in the past. Right on the spot, actually, yeah. She stopped nibbling on the popsicle for a moment. Was what flashed across her face nervousness, hate, remorse? It was a complex shade, the same thing I saw yesterday. Her answer was a simple one. She showed no signs of escaping or deflecting the question, instead giving me a straightforward and concise response. Yeah, I mean, with Ariu Aki, if she... You know, she is a direct person. She asks direct, so you can't beat around the bush with her. You just have to be direct. You can't really... She doesn't even give you a chance, like, to tiptoe around it, you know? I merely nodded. I can't ask any more. This is probably something she doesn't want anyone asking much about.
食べよ。これは購買部では3番目に美味しいんだ。
From there, the conversation became more relaxed. We continued with light topics such as the snackos available in the school store and favorite ice cream flavors. Honestly, I can't say I'm completely satisfied when it comes to Yuna's abilities, but I don't think there's any reason to force her to use them. In any case, abilities are like weapons. It's all well and good when you can wield them well, but the moment you have doubts, they become much harder to handle. They may be talents given to you, but they can be difficult to carry and it can be frightening to use them. If you start seeing them as a flaw, you'll want to hide them. It's something that can happen to anyone, and I'll bet that's the sort of state Yuna is in now. It's not something strangers can rudely intrude on.
そうだ。明日から参加する合宿組の件だが、人数はわかるか?
確か3組で7人だったかな。
She answered as if it were completely natural, taking a notebook from her pocket at the same time to check.
今日合宿が終わった茶道部のを使うことになってるわ。もう干したのを取り込んであるはず。シーツはまだ洗濯済みのものがあるし、大丈夫でしょ。
Basically stuff for the school task force. She reported to me smoothly. Oh, now I'm having regrets. I wonder how quickly our disciplinary committee work could get done with Yuna on board. I would ship it. Yuka and Yuna? That would be interesting. Yeah. I thought, not even sure myself whether I was serious or joking. I would be down with that. Yuna said the same to me as I finished my ice cream and stood up. Well, I was about to say, Yuka, you got the competition button, really. I like the pairings as they are. This one, however, I could get behind too, and it won't be a problem. I said to the part of me that still regretted letting her go. She may be limiting herself, but she hasn't completely closed herself off. She's using her talents now in the cafeteria and in the task force, even if it's behind the scenes. This means she hasn't completely distanced herself from her own abilities. What she does now may help her recover, and perhaps one day she may want to be proactive again.
そうしたらもう一度誘ってみよう。うん。そろそろ見回りの時間だ。合宿を終えた部の施錠確認。明日の遅刻補修の準備。
I summoned my focus and quickly switched gears to the task at hand. Maybe we get one more. That's the thing though. That's the thing though. Like Aki, obviously, since she's in the disciplinary committee, she gets to interact with the most people so far. The thing that I'm kind of missing, that I now actually realized, is, well, okay, we have Nena. Love is fun from Ariu. One more, nice. Nice is what I meant to say. But the thing that I'm kind of missing, I mean, yeah, we have Nena, but like Futano-san, Ichika-san, like we didn't really get them. Or did we? No, we didn't, right? So we didn't get any interactions between them, which is kind of sad to see. And I can't see them like being unlocked after we have completed all the apples. I don't think that's the case. Kind of a bummer though, since everyone else got covered. Whether it's a sunny, cloudy, or rainy day, I always enjoy the air in the morning. That's the second time we see this room, by the way. Up in the watchtower, I held out my sticks in front of the taiko drum. I took a deep breath and my spine naturally straightened. It's the disciplinary committee's first duty to announce the opening of the gates in the morning with a taiko. Personally, it's something I quite enjoy. Can we hear it? I slowly raised one hand and gave the drum its first strike. As I listened to the solemn sound, I confirmed the gates opening beneath me. Though the sun... Ah, that's where they... Yeah, probably no one is going in there. Yeah. Though the sun rose long ago and the faculty are already working inside, I get the feeling this is sort of when the school really awakens. If it wouldn't be so goddamn early. I struck the drum again, holding the stick tight as vibrations flowed up through it from the tip. Oh yeah, I like that too. The sound seemed to resound not only in the air, but deep in my stomach as well, as if trying to shake awake what slept deep within me. Nope, perhaps it was the opposite. It could be the rhythm inside me flowing out through the drumsticks. Maybe she shouldn't play guitar, maybe she should actually play the drums with Yuka, you know? Catching myself thinking something like that, I smiled wryly. Such poetic lines, how unlike me. Was I picking up Yuka's speech patterns? Yeah, it's a little bit like lyrical finesse. I looked down through the watchtower windows and noticed a few students coming in here and there. Most of the girls coming to school this early are in athletic clubs with morning practice. That would suck so much. Although, the school festival is coming up, so there could be people coming in early to prepare for it as well. Last night she texted me saying I won't be late tomorrow either. I'm sure she'll make the effort to get up. Though she probably still make it just under the wire, cutting it close like always. She's just like me, nocturnal. That's why school is always shitty. Because it's too early in the morning and you can't get shit done when you're nocturnal. Feeling my grip on the drumsticks loosening, I squeeze them all the more tightly. Lately, this seems to happen when I think about Yuka. I feel myself filling up inside with something gentle and sweet. It gives me some pleasure deep down in my core that I can't put into words. Oh, it was before that. I felt my cheeks heating up as my thoughts landed there. A surprise confession that the confessor unwittingly gave advance notice of. It's so incredibly clumsy, but that's what makes it so like Yuka. I can't wait. In fact, now I find it in my thoughts every day, so maybe that's a pretty good strategy too. Maybe she's striking it too much now.
体当たりのような歌い方なんだろう。
It seems like an easy thing to picture, yet I still can't imagine it. All I'm left with is an awkward feeling I can tell is making me smile. I'm sure Yuka isn't aware of how excited I am. I doubt she's noticed how much I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure she'll be just as oblivious today as always. She'll come to school right at the last moment and she'll jump right into her preparations for her show at the festival.
もう本当に
She's alright. She's hungry. Someone I care for. I suddenly awoke from my sweet reverie and stopped my hands. Yeah, I was about to say. As I gazed down at the drum before me, the drumsticks in my hands, I thought back to the sounds I'd subconsciously listened to.
12回ほど打ってしまった気がする。
I actually didn't count. It's normally struck 10 times, which should come naturally to me from my daily repetition of the task. Love really makes one forget oneself.
あまり浮つきすぎないようにしないとな。
She's pulling a yuka. I cautioned myself, setting the drumsticks down and leaving the watchtower. There was nothing I could do about the buoyant feeling still inside me, however.
ああ、どうしようもない。
Yeah.
恋とはいいものだな。
You can't read Ariu Aki for the entire game, so getting this one right here was... That's why I saved it up for like the third last, because, you know, now I love her even more than I already did, because it was great. That was fucking awesome.